Hello everyone, I'm back again, just to change things up a bit. Tonight I'm wearing a tie. Still wearing pajamas, but at least I have a tie on. Believe it or not, this is an old McDonald's manager tie. You can see the little McDonald's logo, the McDonald's restaurant there. So I used to wear this like 20 odd years ago when I worked back then. In any case, looking spiffy. All right, so today we're going to talk. Right now we're going to talk about Act 4, Scene 1. Now, I'm not going to read the summary quite yet, simply because there's too many spoilers in it. It also doesn't mention, one of the more interesting aspects of the scene, which is the witches. Right, so the witches reappear and they open the scene. They're in a cave somewhere, and they are moving around a cauldron and throwing various ingredients into the cauldron. Now, one thing you'll notice is one indication that Shakespeare didn't write the previous scene with Hecate is that the vapors drop profound that she is supposed to have gathered from the corner of the moon. It does not appear in this scene. In any case, they're throwing various ingredients in. Now, these are the material components of a spell. And so this is a serious business for Shakespeare's audience. King James, wrote a treatise on witchcraft and how to catch and destroy witches, and which burnings and trials by ordeal and torture were still, were happening during this time, and so it was a very serious business. You'll hear the phrase "double, double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble." Well, that sounds sort of childish and trite to us. It would have been very serious to Shakespeare's audience, and Shakespeare is the one who came up with it. So, we may have heard it at Halloween, but it was first mentioned in this play. And the various material ingredients in the spell would have been appalling, not only for their sort of disgustingness, but also for their unholiness. So some of the ingredients are just slimy things, the most famous of which being the eye of newt, and toe of frog and whatnot. Plus also the various appendages of ravenous, or what do we consider predatory animals, dragons scales and wolf's teeth and things like that. So in any case, and finally, what would have been the probably most powerful and unholy ingredients would have been the various body parts of people who would be considered unchristian. So nose of Turk, so probably a Muslim. Tartar's lips, so someone from farther east, Eastern Europe, and the liver of a blaspheming Jew. So, especially in Shakespeare's day, Jewish people could not catch a break. Anyway, so they would be considered unholy. Anyway, so these would be very powerful components of a spell. Now, in this scene, they're conjuring up spirits to talk to Macbeth. Now, keep in mind, as Hecate pointed out, these are going to be artificial sprites. So they're going to be illusions, which Macbeth is going to take as actual spirits being drawn from some nether world. In any case, you imagine a cauldron on the stage with a false bottom where the various characters are going to come up through the cauldron and speak to Macbeth from the cauldron. And the first one is an armed head that says, "Beware Macduff, beware the Thane of Fife." Right now, again, this is something really Macbeth already knew, right? So he suspects the Thane of Fife, Macduff, as a traitor, and fears what could happen. So Macbeth responds, "Thou hast harped my fear aright. You're playing a song that I understand." Right? The second apparition is a bloody child, and that spirit says to him, "None of woman born shall harm Macbeth." And Macbeth, of course, takes that to mean that no, he can't be harmed because all of us have mothers. Right? And then the third one is a crowned child holding a tree, and it says, "Macbeth shall never vanquished be till Birnam Wood to high Dunsinane Hill shall come against him." So until the actual forest moves to the castle, he can't be harmed. So he takes this to mean that he is invulnerable. Now keep in mind, they're doing the same sort of thing that they did to him in the past, right? So they give him the truth, right? This honest trifle, which is beware Macduff. And then they give him here's the second spirit, more potent than the first. So the second one's more powerful than the first one, and it is telling him something different. So he believes the second and third one, as when we know they're in fact they're the other part where they're the to betray us in deepest consequence. So we know he's going to be betrayed in some way. And in fact, if you look at what comes out of the cauldron, those three things, those three apparitions, are actually the way in which these prophecies can be interpreted to bring about his downfall. So they're actually symbolic of what's actually going to happen instead of what he believes will happen. In any case, he is going to go away pretty happy. As he's coming out of there, he finds out, in fact, that Macduff has fled to England. So he said during the speech he's going to take a bond of fate, thou must not live. He was going to kill Macduff, but he finds out Macduff has fled to England. So what does he decide to do? He is going to kill Macduff's family. Now, there is no benefit to him to doing this, right? You keep in mind that, when he killed Duncan, he became king. He killed Banquo to be secure in his kingdom. Now he's just mad, and he's going to murder innocent people, murder a whole family of innocent people, simply because he is angry at the father, the head of the household. In any case, and so this is quite a change for Macbeth, and he says at this point, the firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand. Right? So this means, the first thing that pops into his head is the thing he's going to do. It doesn't matter, he's not going to reason it out as he did the other murders. This one is just something that's going to happen. He's going to seize upon Fife, put to the edge of the sword, his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. So everybody related to him even, he's going to empty the castle. So that's where we end off, and it's things are going to go from bad to worse. All right, TTFN off.